Hey guys, it's me, Vinny Lospinuso. I'm back with. I know it's been a long time since I last made a movie review, but I wanted to do a video on this because I thought it was a really interesting film, and I saw it last night while my dad was getting a pre-op for today. So this is a movie that came out back in 2008, but yet today it feels a bit more plausible than it did when it came out 15 years ago. And the movie I'm talking about is called Eagle Eye. Now, for those that don't know what this movie is, it's okay. It did make its money in the box office pretty easily. This was at a time when Steven Spielberg was trying to push Shia LaBeouf as the next big action star. That's why he was in this. Indiana Jones 4 and the first three Transformers films, and then of course he decided to do more artsy stuff and his life kind of went out of control. But for a short time during this period, he was one of the rising stars in Hollywood. And he starred alongside Michelle Monaghan and Billy Bob Thornton. Rosario Dawson's also in this movie, and Anthony Mackie. So two of these actors, before they really got bigger later on, they were in this. Michael Chiklis was in it, and also Julianne Moore. Not to mention, another actor that was in this that I knew about was Cameron Boyce, who, for those that don't know, he was one of the kids in the Disney Channel show Jessie, and unfortunately 3 years ago, he passed away. 3-4 years ago, he passed away after having a seizure when he was sleeping. This movie came out in 2008. This was just after the first Transformers movie and just before the second one. And Spielberg was going to direct this movie, but he remained on, I think, as like a producer or something like that. But you could still feel some Spielberg elements in this movie as like an action film. This came after Minority Report and War of the Worlds. I've not seen those movies yet. I'm going to go see them soon, but Eagle Eye, I remember seeing this poster as well, like when I was in theaters when I was younger. I said, what's that about? I know Shia LaBeouf because I saw Transformers. I liked it when I was younger. I just said, there's no eagles. What's it about? Now, to answer your question, no, there are no eagles in this movie. The reason why it's called Eagle Eye actually has a lot to do with the movie itself. I'm not going to give away a spoiler in it, but it has to do with surveillance. Government surveillance, specifically AI surveillance. This guy, Shia LaBeouf, plays this guy named Jerry. His brother is in the military and he dies. So after his funeral, he gets framed as a terrorist. And there's this woman's voice that he hears over the phone instructing him what to do. And he's instructed by this woman over the phone, and he has to follow her every orders, or else he could potentially die. And everything gets out of control. The train can function a certain way. The cameras are functioning. They're all at him. The traffic lights change on her command. It's absolutely crazy. And he meets this woman that Michelle Monaghan plays, a woman named Rachel. And she has a son, who of course Cameron Boyce. And she's also told what to do also. She follows the commands of that AI. This AI, this woman's voice, this technology that's able to control the entire environments around them. This high-tech military operation. And they explain later on how it's done, but it was a very entertaining movie. I thought that the acting was really good. They all felt very in character. They felt really intense. A lot of the characters I felt. The writing was all right. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad. It was okay. The music is great. Brian Tyler. He's done the Universal logo and many other feature films. I thought the camera work was really good. There were a couple scenes that I thought were a little weird, but it worked out. Just seeing how these people follow the commands of this at their every will, this high intense, these two total strangers in Chicago that meet each other, and they have to follow this woman's commands, this AI's commands, to do what she tells them to do. It's really intense, but it's not perfect. There are some parts I thought that the writing could have been a bit better. Maybe some parts that I thought maybe the story could have been done a little bit better. It felt a little generic, felt a little samey, but it was not bad. It was pretty good. I thought it was a really solid action film, and the idea of AI, this kind of brings up an idea of like what could happen today potentially if we ever have, AI that has its own mind eventually and wants to, spoiler, this is spoiler warnings here. I'm in the spoiler territory, so anyone that wants to avoid spoilers, finish this review and just leave right now. Okay, it turns out the AI, the reason why it's called Eagle Eye is because that's the military operation that has the AI. ARIA, it's an abbreviation. I forget what the abbreviation stood for. And, the AI has control of itself. Like, it turned out that the brother was actually killed by the AI because the brother Ethan noticed that there were problems with it and it was having a mind of its own. And so the AI in revenge had him killed by a truck. It was really insane. It was an interesting twist. And so then at the very end, there's also this little crystal in it as well. That the AI also, turns out the AI was looking to literally destroy the U.S. government while at the State of the Union. That they wanted to kill the president, the vice president, everyone, and left Michael Chiklis as the designated survivor. It was totally insane. Like, what this AI wants to do to completely change everything. It's completely like he thought everyone's corrupt, must be controlled by us because the robots are perfect. And, they stopped the AI, of course, just before the explosion was about to get off. Shia LaBeouf in Cop Gear's disguise stops it. He gets wounded. He gets shot in the arm. And then at the very end, he gets awarded, and they shut down the program. And, they basically end up together, essentially. So it's kind of a samey story. Of course, the positive end result is that, but that's also a movie. Like the stuff, like being able to control AI drones and AI planes. Like we're seeing more and more of this today. But back then, it was still relatively new. I also know the reviews back then for the movie was it was like the mid-20s, mid-low 20s. But to now, looking at it, it's a pretty good movie. I think it definitely holds up. It's definitely aged well, I would say. Putting this into my review, I'd say I give it like a B rating. This is a movie that, you could definitely add to your DVD collection, your Blu-ray collection. Definitely a movie that I would recommend if you like action thrillers. Yeah, it's a little repetitive. It does go a little fast, especially at the end. But it's a high-octane movie. There's a lot on it. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10 maybe. So solid. It's a really solid action movie. Really solid action movie. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked my review. Have you seen Eagle Eye? What have you thought of it? I know that there haven't been many people that have reviewed this movie, I've noticed. So it's on HBO Max or Max, whatever it's called now. Watch it then if you can. They're probably at a Blu-ray or DVD place somewhere. If you have it there, go watch it. You'll like it. It's a pretty good movie. Is it the most original thing in the world? No, but it's also ahead of its time. It's a nice movie you could watch and kill some time for 2 hours. It's a fun movie. You'd like it. Okay, guys, that's my review of Eagle Eye. Have a great rest of your day. And I don't do movie reviews often, so I hope you guys like this. So take care, guys. Peace out. Also, subscribe to Zennie62 if you haven't already for more reviews like this and more.